Welcome back to the Realistic Cattle Ranch Challenge on Sunshine Forest. I'm BP, and it's time to get to work. We are still in September, guys. The price of cheese and mozzarella is peaking. Currently, our cheese is at the best price. We're going to run up to the shop and sell that. And then I'm going to hang out with the mozzarella until its price peaks and then catch you guys back in October. But wanted you guys to see 26,000 liters of cheese. So our dairy cows are producing good milk. And not 1, but 2,000 liters of mozzarella, which has been a long time coming. What, we were getting like 126 liters of buffalo milk at a time, or 200. So excited to get this stuff sold. We are going to scoot over here to the sell everything and get this stuff unloaded. I'll get you guys the total on the cheese, and then I will come back with you guys and update you in October when we have a total for the mozzarella. Looks like we are just a bit off center. Had about $18,000 in cheese sold already. Let's scoot this stuff over just a little bit. That seems to be a better spot. So we started with just about $22,000 in the bank. We're up to 73. So that's about 50K in cheese. And can we get this last pallet to sell? The sell everything trigger is a little bit finicky. Yeah, so we ended up with, what would that be? 58,000 liters of cheese. Or $58,000 for our 26,000 liters of cheese. I'm going to hang out here until the buffalo mozzarella sells, and then I will see you guys in October. See you in a minute. Welcome back, guys. We are in October. We got that mozzarella sold and made about $18,000. Getting the calf igloos or calf huts topped off. Have some exciting news and updates for today. As you guys are about to see, coming across in front of us, there is our Fiat going, and we are not driving it. I was up at the store selling the cheese yesterday and was talking to some of the guys up there, and there were some guys looking for work. So I said, hey, we've got some fields that need mowed, and you can see we already paid and had that field up there mowed for our hay. So we're going to have some help out here on the farm, mainly just for sort of the mundane, repetitive tasks that we're going to be doing, getting the grass mowed, tedding, maybe even windrowing, we'll see. We'll probably still have to do all the baling ourselves. But we're getting to the point with the operation where the size of the tasks that we need to do are getting to be quite large, and it's taking several hours a day. So we just need some help. And as you can see, we have $170,000, $174,000 in the bank. So we have a little bit of money to spend, and figure, you know, may as well try to make our lives a little bit easier. So let's grab one bale here and finish feeding. I'm about to knock everything over. All right, get this one on here. And as you guys can see, we have 2 calf igloos here, whereas in previous episodes there was a manure pit here, or a manure heap. That manure heap has been moved up here to this side of the birthing barn. We were still having some conflicts with Teen Town in regards to getting manure to come out of that barn. So I just moved some stuff around until we got to a better spot so we weren't having all the overlap, and we're getting the manure out, because Teen Town had like 136,000 liters of manure or something, and it just wasn't coming out. It wasn't going down at all. So wanted to make sure we were getting everything we needed out of our barn, since we're paying to put straw on there, and we're harvesting the straw and doing all that work. So the next order of business for today is to get the animals fed. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into our Massey Ferguson here and get a couple of bales spread around. And then I think we're going to put in a TMR mixing station. As I said, we're putting at least 2 loads into our birthing barn a day, and just feel like we need to find a better, faster, more economical way to mix it rather than running that wagon back and forth all day trying to get it filled. So I have gone around and put water in all of the pens. As you guys saw, we just wrapped up feeding the calves in the igloos. That went well. I have started the new calving pregnancy process. So in the barn straight in front of us, which is our breeding barn, the females were not moved today, and because they're going to stay in there until they are 9 months pregnant and then move over to the birthing barn. Additionally, I did not move the calves out of the birthing barn that were born today. So all of our calves are currently in these front 4 huts, and that is where they're going to stay until they are of age. So we're sort of in a lull in the process. We don't have animals moving as much as we did. We will shortly. Now, with the realistic livestock mod, there are a couple of things we still don't fully know. First and foremost is how many months do the female cows, after giving birth, do they produce milk? So we're going to test that. We're going to figure it out and sort of get you guys that data, and that'll also help us make some decisions on how we're going to handle everything. So the way it's going to work, I'll show you guys here real quick. Actually, what I'll do is I'll run over here so you guys can see the full data. Been pulling slurry out this morning, got a lot going on. So in here, we have a cow named Sweetie. Okay, Sweetie gave birth this morning, today in, what are we in? October. And so when Sweetie is ready to go, when it says, no longer says recovering from last pregnancy, we will know how many months that was. I assume it's going to be 2 or 3, sort of based on how the cows have been moving. And then that's going to determine how and when we move the calves. So if the mother stops producing milk at, let's say, 3 months, and the cow and the cattle now says, you know, no suitable male in the enclosure, we will also move the calves out at 3 months because their mothers have stopped producing milk. So we're going to figure that out. I don't know that it's 3 months. I think it's right around 3 months. It certainly feels that way based on how we've been moving the cows so far, but we will figure all of that out here pretty soon. So it also means that we aren't keeping track of which animals are pregnant right now because we're not moving them until they're 9 months. So we have a little bit of lull in our sort of normal experience. That guy all done? Okay, so the teen town is full. That's good news. And don't worry, guys, as usual, I have plans to spend our money. That $170,000 won't be sitting in there for long. We're going to get a TMR mixer put in, and then we're going to go buy that new Holland Harvester. You may notice right here, I got our old Massey Harvester sold. Guy came and picked it up this morning. So that's gone, and the new Holland is still in the sale, so we are going to pick that up. It looks like our helper may be done with the mowing. Looks like he took off. I told him just to leave the tractor here when he was done. So that part of the mowing is done. We may have a helper come back and do the tedding and the windrowing this afternoon. But we're going to need the tractor for planting, which I will probably do just because of our planter setup is a little complicated. Not sure I want to trust it to somebody else. If they miss spots on our field, it's going to be a problem later on. So let's go ahead and get our mower put back into the shed. Loving our shed over here. Great to have things put out of the way. I would love to put a shed in at the front end for our trailers, but as of now, we don't quite have the space, the means, the needs, and I'd rather spend the money on a couple of the upgrades we need today in regards to getting that harvester and getting the TMR mixer in. So let's go blow some straw. I did top off all of the straw. Well, at least I thought I did. It seems like maybe they want a little bit more. Go ahead and put a bale in here. Let's check and see how that is going. So we have to label that last calf igloo. The breeding barn, they've got 25,000 liters of straw. I think that's going to be pretty good. And the birthing barn, how many chickens do we have? Let's see. We have a bunch of chickens, a bunch of chicks, though. Not a lot of them full grown. And then our birthing barn has 38,000 liters of straw. So I think we'll, you know what, let's put one more in here and we can reload if we need to for the birthing barn and get that one full as well. I'm going to try to get some straw distributed. I suspect even after increasing our fields, we're going to be playing a little bit of catch up on our new barns. And I think the TMR mixer we're going to put in is going to require straw, so we'll probably be back to buying straw. Now the good news is we bought that extra piece of land yesterday, or last episode, last month I should say, and so we have lots of area to expand. We got to cut down some trees and we got to make some room, but we could really take one of those wheat fields way up to the next level. And it wouldn't necessarily be a big deal because we're going to have our new Holland Harvester. Say that 3 times fast. So let's get this guy tucked in under the shed where he belongs, out of the way. We're going to need him in just a minute. And then let's jump into the Massey. Love to get these guys stacked. Do we have the skills to do that? That is the question. So let's see. Okay, looking good. Oh, didn't quite stay on there. Okay. Now, can we... Oh, the collision on the back of the mixer truck, guys. I swear there hasn't been an episode we haven't run into the back of the mixer truck with that collision. May drop the modder a note, see if they want to do an update, or maybe see if there has been an update to that, because it seems like whatever's going on back there is certainly not intended, and the rest of it is so detailed and works so well. Might just be an oversight or a slight problem there. We're going to tuck this guy back over here. We're going to need him to get our TMR station filled up here shortly. But for now, let's go blow some straw in the birthing barn. Nice camera angle inside the other barn. I don't want to go too fast with those 3 bales, just in case the top one decides to do something silly. Yep, that was it for the... Yeah, it's funny, this barn does instant, so I want to make sure we're getting the straw we're supposed to. So birthing barn, they're at 60,000. Yeah, so it got rid of all of it. I'm not sure it's full. I'm not sure it's supposed to be full, but it is. So, yeah. It's interesting. We'll have to figure out if that's a straw blower mod issue or a barn issue. But, man, we are blocked everywhere we want to go. We'll just leave him here for right now. Alright, so getting away from the trucks, we need to put in a TMR mixer. So this is going to be pretty quick, guys. I took a look overnight when we were waiting. So we're going to put in, let's see, there's this sort of rustic looking, this one right here, 35,000. That's sort of a rusty pipe. The only thing I really don't like about it, guys, there's this big LCD screen on it, which I wish was not on it, but we'll tuck it in here and it'll be okay. We want it sticking out from the building a little bit. We're going to place that right there and then jump in, do the smoothing that we know we need to do everywhere, and we need to put in a road. So we're going to get this to the size we want. I think we'll get it lined up with the side. Do we want to be that wide? That seems really wide. Okay, so let's put the road in here, and we'll use the perfect edge tool. Can't see it. We'll have to come down here and take a look. Oh yeah, we just about got it perfect. All right, we're going to have to sort of get rid of some of this back here because they're going to have to be making that turn. We know that's going to be a bit tight. Let's give them a little bit of an entry. Let's give them a little bit of an exit on either side to come get some. Excellent. So, the recipe for the new TMR station for total mix ration: silage, hay, and straw. 400, 750, so you put 1,000 in, you get 1,000 out. That is good news. So let's just, well, first off, here's another piece of wood. Get rid of that. What happens when you do all that forestry? There are little chunks all over the place. Okay. I think I want to do just a tiny bit of touch-up right in here on the corners. Never really want to have square corners. Vehicles don't take square corners. The back tires scrub and hit the edge. There we go. That looks a little cleaner. So let's start with, let's put 4, let's put, it was a small amount, so let's do 3 straw bales. Let's do 6 hay bales. And then how many silage bales do we have? 13. Let's try putting 6 of those in real quick. I'm probably going to throw this on a time lapse just to get you guys through it because we're going to be moving bales here for a little bit. But I will check back in with you when I have all of these bales done. Check you guys in a minute. Alright guys, we are back. I did make one batch of total mix rationing because it's going to take some time to get the TMR in our mixer up and running. But here it is. We'll go look at this utterly ridiculous digital screen. Just shows you what the different things are because you can do pig food and all that kind of stuff. It'll make some silage. We're not going to use any of those features, but you can do it. And then when you get in and take a look at it, you know, the recipe for total mix ration: 400 silage, 350 hay, 250 straw makes 1,000 TMR. And we've been running, I got the worker back, doing the tedding on field 1, moved the 6500 series truck with the slurry tanker, did a couple of quick things, and it's already made 4,300 liters. So that will be very, very helpful moving forward. But let's get some hungry cows fed now, and then we're going to run up to the shop. Man, oh man, do we have manure we got to take up. That's bad driving on my part, guys. That's just me running into the side of the new barn with our mixer truck. We do have a lot of manure to get up to the VGA, and we have to go pick up our New Holland harvester. So a couple of things to do. Figured we'd have the worker working in the field while we were gone, since we won't be using the tractor. Maybe even have him get on the wind rowing, depending on how many trips we have to take to get up there. But I think we are in good shape with the way this stuff is working out. Now, I haven't quite decided what we're going to do long term, but we are pushing in on 200 cows. Between the 100 calves we have to be born and everything else, we definitely are getting close to 200 animals, and I don't really want to keep buying animals. Oh, that's the wrong button. Didn't want to do that. I don't want to keep buying animals, so I'm thinking maybe when we hit the 200 mark, we'll be sort of done purchasing animals. Now, that doesn't mean that if, say we need a water buffalo bull and we don't have a good water buffalo bull, if there's a specialty animal we need and there's one in the sale, we're just going to pick it up. I think that's the only real reasonable way to do that. But I don't think we're going to keep buying calves. I think at this point, at least for a little while, we're going to try to just breed the animals we have and grow our cattle ranch that way. We could just endlessly buy animals, and certainly, we're going to have more than 300 animals come and go on this farm. But I think for a little while, and we'll see if I change my mind after we get into it, but, I haven't bought animals in probably 2 or 3 months, and I'm thinking that, maybe we just don't buy animals for a little while. Breed what we have, save the money, reinvest it into stuff we need on the ranch, or just save it towards the 4 million. But, I'm thinking buying and moving all those animals all the time, is not the way to go. And we're at about 160 animals right now, plus the roughly 100 cattle or 100 calves that are due. So we're well into the 200 cattle long term, and each month with more and more cows and heifers getting pregnant, that number continues to go up. And I think that between the manure they're producing, we're taking to the VGA, the cheese and the milk we're getting, I think our cash flow, at least for a little while, is going to be in good shape. So, and I also don't want to get to the point where we just have 1,000 head of cattle because we kept buying and they aren't doing anything for us. I want it to make sense to have the animals that we have. I want it to grow the right way, sustainably. We did put 2 barns in recently, and that's a lot, and I don't want to be doing that all the time either. So those are my thoughts. I haven't really committed to anything yet, but in general, I feel like buying animals every month is probably behind us. Maybe we'll buy every couple months, or maybe we'll wait till, something comes up that we need. Like I said, not a hard and fast rule, but, maybe we do that. So let's jump into the sale, see what we have. There's the New Holland we are definitely picking up today. Man, 138,977 is cash in the bank, and we have 138,474 for the New Holland. So we are not picking anything else up today. I love this JCB Fast Track. That would be just about the perfect big tractor for us to buy. 123,000, definitely don't have the cash for it. We do have a 62% off 8.5 meter case header that we could put on that New Holland. So before the New Holland disappears, because we just had something get out of the sale, let's go ahead and pick this guy up. Do we do anything with the tires? It's our only option. Love BKTs if we have them. We don't. So at this point, what do we think looks? Those are some big trailer boards for the Ryzen. Let's see. Check out that tread real quick. Yeah, the trailer board look much more aggressive. So we're going to buy that. We had just about exactly the right amount of money. So that was promising. Let's go run over and pick this guy up. I'm hoping he fits on our trailer. We upgraded our trailer. Man, look at that, guys. That is a sharp looking harvester. That is going to make getting our wheat off the field way, way easier. Now, let's see. Man, guys, I don't know if we're going to catch both sides of the trailer. And that, as of that angle, we are not. Can we get it to hook? Oh. Okay, that's square. Now let's see if we can just get it just to... Oh, it's getting crooked. It is getting crooked. Yep, we lost one tire. Can we get it back on? We are running out of real estate to get that tire back on. Come on, get a little grip. I don't know if the rear axle might be a wider working width. Yeah, that's, I think we're going to struggle with this one, guys. This, I think the rear axle is just bigger than the trailer. Maybe we try first person. Try just getting it totally squared up and just keep everything in the middle. Yep, I think we are probably gonna struggle getting this on the trailer. Okay, I mean, that is visually centered. Man, we are... Nope, we fell off. Alright, one more try, and then we may just have to drive this back and figure out some sort of ride back up here. We could take the Scout back up here if we needed to. Funny, because the rear tires don't look wider than... Yeah, look at that, though, guys. That is... This is as wide as our trailer. Yep, just pushed it right on off. Huh. Just need the wider tires on the back, I guess. Gave it the old college try. No such luck. Alright, well, I am going to drive this guy back. And then we will drive the International back up here. And switch trucks. So, I'll see you guys back at the ranch in a second. We are back up at the shop, guys. I figured there was no point in bringing the International up to the shop to pick up the 650 empty, so I thought I'd bring a load of manure, so I ended up just mucking out all of our calf huts, and then had a little left over that I picked up from a couple of our manure heaps. So we'll drop off our 45,000 liters of manure while we're here. We'll swing over to the shop. We'll have put the dump trailer on our flatbed trailer, mount the International on the flatbed of the 650, and head back to the farm. New Holland made it back, no issues, fits right in the old spot in the garage. Looks really good. Just working on getting enough money to buy that header for it so we can get some crops out of the field come next year. So I'm going to go ahead and get this guy loaded up, and I'll check back in with you guys at the farm. We are pulling back onto the farm. Our helper got our fields. We got the big one tedded and windrowed, and this one windrowed. Did a pretty good job. I'm impressed. Have to hire him back for a couple more jobs. This was a good trial run. So we've got a couple more tasks to do today. I've got to get our wheat fields planted. Obviously have to get the grass baled up, and we have to get the slurry tanker run up to the BGA because it is chock full as well. So I'm going to work on some stuff around the farm. I'll bring you guys back in to say goodbye once the fields are all done and taken care of. Maybe give you a quick update on how many bales we got, and check in a little bit. So I'll see you guys soon. We are wrapping up the final bit of wheat planting, guys. It has been a day. Got this corner right over here we got to grab. We did get all of the grass and hay baled. We got 47 hay bales, which I think was 1 or 2 less than we got last time. I think we had 49 last time. And we got 14 grass bales, which is exactly the same. So the hay bales have been put in the shed and in the TMR mixer. And the silage, actually the silage, the wrapped bales are over here next to the cold storage. And we unwrapped the last 14 from the previous batch and put those into the TMR mixer. So we are good to go with TMR for November. So that was quite a busy episode. Got a lot done. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Don't forget to drop a like and turn on notifications for more videos. And we'll see you in the next one.